So we meet again.
Century Theater Cinemark has brought us back to the theater. A little different this time. We're going to a live Q&A with John Krasinski. Not in person, they're streaming it throughout the theaters, but it's going to be for A Quiet Place 2.
So 5 of us have come to check it out with reserved seating. Now, this is not a private screening. This is going to be with other people in there. But as, you know, things are going back to normal and stuff, it feels like, you know, we're ready to come back to the theater and see it with a crowd.
And you can still get the private screenings available from Cinemark, $149.99 if you want to watch A Quiet Place amongst your friends and family. But otherwise, let's get in. Of course, they are still following protocols here at Cinemark, and there's plenty of sanitizer throughout the building. Just came out of A Quiet Place Part 2 with the live Q&A after show with J.J. Abrams and John Krasinski. Now, the Q&A itself was fantastic. They asked our question, as well as our friends from the Real Rejects. The question we asked was, which Dunder Mifflin employee would survive A Quiet Place? He answered Creed.
I'm just hiding out until all this stuff blows over with Creed.
Vanessa called it. But let's hear what everybody else thought about the movie.
So I just saw A Quiet Place, and I really liked it. I thought it was pretty good.
But I saw A Quiet Place too. It was a lot of fun. I liked it. I liked it more than the first one. There was a lot of suspense, and it really flies by. And you know, hey, maybe we'll get a third one. I don't want to spoil anything. Maybe we'll get a third one. Yeah, go see it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, man. I loved the first Quiet Place. It was one of my favorite films that came out that year. I think that Krasinski made a sequel that doesn't feel forced. It feels an organic progression to the story. All the cast is still fantastic. I love the addition of Cillian Murphy. It's a little light on scares for me. It was why I don't like it quite as much as the first, but it's still solid follow-up. And I think probably the best horror sequel I've seen since Conjuring 2, I think. But yeah, definitely check this one out.
Getting out of A Quiet Place 2, god damn, what a movie, man. Krasinski did it again. Amazing that he went from basically doing Alien to Aliens. This is a pretty big progressive jump from being just the horror thriller. Now we're doing like the horror action film. Cillian Murphy's a really great addition. The cast is fantastic again. It just hits right. This was the perfect movie to come back to the theater for. I just had so much fun. You guys have got to see it on the biggest screen possible.
Really enjoyed this movie. It definitely was a next logical progression of A Quiet Place's universe. I do see them making this a franchise that is probably going to be financially successful for quite some time if they wanted to open up the world and make more, or at least spin-offs when it comes to this IP. But yeah, I enjoyed it a lot, and I definitely do feel like they kicked up the action in this movie, but granted, I feel like the scares were less, not that they weren't impactful, but that they were less than they were in the first one.
A lot of times when you see like interviews with John Krasinski, he was talking about how he wanted the second one to be an organic experience from what they had from the first one to the second one, and I think that they did a phenomenal job. They succeeded in what they wanted to do. I think it elevates the tone of the story in a very organic way, in a way that we're like, okay, I can see this situation happening with our characters instead of just, you know, let's make a sequel. Like, it was really good, and I think I like this one a little bit more than the first one. This one does elevate the jump scares for me personally in some areas, which is fine. You know, you need to have those elements, and then also bringing different actors and different characters into the story aligning with your characters that you already know was interesting, because, you know, this is a big world. These things happen. So seeing other people experience this world as well as it's happening was really great to see.
It almost felt like they took the best of Signs, you know, M. Night Shyamalan Signs, and the best of Last of Us and put it together. And it's a story that I'm willing to come back and see how it all unfolds. Marco Beltrami did the score, as he did with the first one. Very atmospheric, not a whole lot to it, very simple but effective, which is something that I feel like you want in a horror film. As an usher, when I worked at the theater, walking through and cleaning the aisles to the credit music, you knew it was a good horror film if the credit music got you terrified. I did love the cinematography in this one. There are certain shots in here that I was just blown away from.
And then, of course, you know, it wouldn't be a horror movie without you internally screaming in your head saying, why are you doing this? So there is certain points in the movie that the situations happen, which does make it a lot intense for you, especially this certain movie where, you know, if you've seen the first one, they can't talk or they can't make noise. And so kind of elevating that situation where you're like, oh my God, they have to make a noise in this situation. What's going to happen? I really, really liked.
So that's it. It was a success, a smashing success, another amazing home run from John Krasinski. So guys, if you saw A Quiet Place 2, let us know what you thought down in the comments below. You can also like and subscribe.
And do the thing on our Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, start at.
All the social networking gin joints, you know where they are. Kick into the party, fuel the party, keep the party going on a Patreon. Thank you guys so much, and as always.
Now it's time to say goodbye.
And thank you, Cinemark, as always.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.